Hi everyone, it's Bernard here with the latest Citizen vlog. It's Sunday the 22nd of December 2019. My voice isn't too bad after going to the match yesterday and shouting my head off as usual. Can I take this opportunity to wish you all a wonderful Merry Christmas. I'll be back before the new year, but I hope you and your friends and your family all have a wonderful Christmas anyway. So let me take this opportunity now before I forget. Obviously, 22nd of December, not long to go now is to that. And obviously, any of you that are lucky enough to have finished work, I'll be probably working every day, including Christmas Day, which I normally do. Obviously, being self-employed, that's just how it goes. You know, there's always things we can find to do. Perhaps I'll only work a couple of hours on Christmas Day, though, anyway. Anyway, welcome to the latest Citizen vlog, sponsored by my website, movieGameNostalgia.com, for movies, DVDs, posters, board games. Please have a look at that if you ever get a chance. All the links are in the comments below. That's movieGameNostalgia.com. Right, what we're talking about today, we're going to talk about our wonderful victory against Leicester City yesterday at the Etihad. Obviously, I'll do our normal player ratings and our Stuart Brennan watch, which we do on a regular basis. We'll have a look through the Twitterverse on City, obviously mainly to do with yesterday, a couple of things. Something nice to show you that I kindly received as well through the post a couple of days ago. And also we'll have a quick look at the Wolves game, which is coming up obviously on the 27th of December. So no Boxing Day game, which I've never been a big fan of Boxing Day games. I don't know why, I never have. So I'm quite happy, even though my son's a bit disgruntled because there's no Boxing Day game. But hey, it's never been my bag anyway. Right, City versus Leicester. There's the old programme from yesterday. With obviously, we're seeing a lot of these images with the special 125-year anniversary. And again, we've gone back to picture covers. I remember in the early days, I was saying I didn't like the drawings, and perhaps someone listened to me and they took all these rubbishy drawings off, because I don't think the drawings were very good. They looked as though they'd done by some sort of youth experience in my day, some young person doing it. Anyway, and just in a couple of bits in the programme, obviously, Mike Summerby paid tribute to Roy Cheetham. I've done a little vlog as well. If you look at the City history vlogs that I do, City Past, I did a little tribute to Roy Cheetham. But obviously, Mike Summerby played Roy Cheetham. Obviously, his little comment there about Roy Cheetham and Ron Saunders. He played under Ron Saunders as well. There's a little piece in the programme about Roy Cheetham. As I said, please check out my City vlogs. I've done a little tribute to both Roy Cheetham and, of course, Ron Saunders as well. I love that. That's a great pick, isn't it? That's Wembley against Wolves, which is my first trip to Wembley. And that's obviously the City fan. We were in the tunnel end, the City fan. So I'll be in there somewhere. I was high up. I was in the second tier from what I can remember, near the tunnel, I think. So, yeah, that's... it's a great picture of Ron Saunders leading the team out there at Wembley. Shame, and there's Mike Summerby again. It's a shame it wasn't a better result. Obviously, it was very disappointing because we did batter him that day. Moments in time. I mean, I can't leave it without looking at the Vinnie one, can we, from last season? Superb, happy days, great memories. It seems a long time ago already, doesn't it? And obviously the 69 FA Cup final. I was a bit young to get to that one, unfortunately. I was going to watch City, obviously, in 69. I was a regular goer to Main Road, but I didn't get to that, unfortunately. Anyway, nice programme, again, as usual. It's nice to see that. Yeah, I mean, stats-wise, let's have a look at the game and how it went. 63% possession for City, which is, again, pretty good against a good team like Leicester. 37% for Leicester. City had 23 shots to Leicester's 5. Again, pretty dominant, weren't we? I mean, it sort of reflects what we thought and what we saw yesterday. We had 12 shots on target, which again is really good. I mean, we're up in that percentage now. We're getting up to the 50%, which is excellent. Leicester had 2 on target, of which he scored with 1, obviously. And we had 6 corners to Leicester's 0. So, you know, Leicester do have a couple of big lads there, but we restricted Leicester, really, so they didn't even have any corners. Good crowd, 54,415. There's 1 or 2 empty seats knocking about. I noticed, obviously, with people not turning up, etc. We might have a quick word about the crowd later, and some comments I've heard since, and I've not had verified about Pep's... some comments Pep made about the crowd. Anyway, let's go. As you know, I do the the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we started pretty well, didn't we? I thought, and Sterling looked who was really up for it. Sterling had Mahrez on one wing and Sterling on the other, and Sterling looked as though he's really up there for having a go yesterday. As I say, he's been a bit in the doldrums, hasn't he, compared to what we know from Sterling. And they looked really lively at the start. And obviously, within 13 minutes, KDB had that superb shot against the post, which never really looked to me. I was right behind it in the south stand. It never really looks as though it was going in, but I mean, obviously, it hit the post, so that was good. That was sort of our dominance the first quarter of an hour on 16 minutes. Mahrez did his little jig. I mean, he absolutely terrorised Chilwell, didn't he? I mean, I think Chilwell's been linked to City, hasn't he? But I mean, he got absolutely hammered yesterday. He might have had a bad day, Chilwell, I don't know, but he couldn't cope with Mahrez, absolutely no. And Mahrez jinked in on 16 minutes. And I think he caught Jesus a bit off guard. I think he just sort of he stuck his left foot out and he just sort of feebly went to Schmeichel, but I don't think he was quite ready for it. Would Sergio been ready for it in his prime? Of course he would. I think he would have done so. Jesus showed a bit naive, a bit slow there. Didn't react quick enough. But hey, it could have easily gone past Schmeichel. But Schmeichel's a good goalkeeper and he's a good reflex goalie, Schmeichel anyway. So he managed to save that. But then, obviously, soon after that, we had the battle. We knew we were going to, and I think Pep said it in his after-match game, you're going to have to give it. Sometimes Vardy's going to hurt you. He's going to hurt teams, and it doesn't matter who your centre-halves are. It doesn't matter who your full-backs are. He's going to hurt you. And obviously, he was left against Fernandinho, and obviously had too much pace and too much nous, perhaps, for Ferner. Obviously, they were pretty much on a line when they started off, but he managed to get in front of Ferner and beat Ferner. And obviously, Edison again. Edison's a goalkeeper. He's a bit of old school goalkeeper to me, Edison. When I used to play in goal, when we dived at players' feet, which used to be a regular thing. It seemed to have died out over the years, but it's come back a little bit now. But when we used to dive at forwards' feet to smother the ball, we went sideways, and we always did. We either went that way or that way. We didn't stand up like the old, obviously the Schmeichel started that, didn't he, in the old days. We didn't do that, really. And Edison's a bit between the two. He doesn't always make himself big. He will commit himself and come down. And I think that's what he did. So he gave Vardy the chance, really, to just think it over him because he came quite low. Vardy isn't the sort of guy. He's no worse shrinking violet, is he, Vardy? He's not going to panic, and he just calmly thinked it over him. So I'm not going to blame Edison particularly. I just think if he'd perhaps not been as quick to come out and try and dive at his feet and been a bit more standy up, but it was a narrow angle. He might have had. Vardy had another one later on that he blasted. I think it went over. Did he blast it over? I don't think Edison got a hand to it, but a similar sort of thing from a tight angle. So yeah, it was a good goal by Vardy. And as I said, that as Pep said, and we all know Vardy's going to get one of the two of these again. Fortunately, it was only Vardy on fire up front. His striking partner Harvey Barnes didn't have the same sort of success, and there's something in the second half I'll mention in a minute. So yeah, that was the bad, but obviously Vardy was also tormenting Otamendi and Fernandinho. But as we say, there's not many defenders in the world. Any world-class defenders will struggle against Vardy when he's on fire, and you just have to hope Vardy hasn't got shooting boots on when he's in that sort of, because he's been on fire this year, Vardy, and that's why Leicester are doing so well. He has been doing it. So that was it. 22 minutes, 1-0 to Leicester. Well, it didn't last long, did it? The atmosphere had been okay. It went a bit flat after that, but within 30 minutes. Superb. There was a long ball. I thought it was Fernandinho, but it might have been Mendy, right out to the right-hand touchline, probably about 30 yards out on the right-hand touchline. And Mahrez, as he did most of the game, controlled it superbly with his chest. Absolutely tormented Chilwell again, cutting in, had him all over the place. And it was a bit of a fluky goal, but you get your shots in, you get deflections, so that's what happened. He got a shot in, it took a deflection off there. Lord Farquhar in the Leicester defence, the Lord Farquhar look-alike. I can't remember his name. Please forgive me. And it's not racist, is it? Calling him Lord Farquhar? I don't know. Anyway, tough. I've called it him now. So anyway, I'm not going to edit it. Anyway, he took a deflection off Lord Farquhar, the centre half, and beat Schmeichel. Schmeichel had it covered, but obviously it was on target, so obviously Mahrez is going to claim the goal. So that was great. That was a bit of luck, but that's what you need, and that's what we need to do more. We do need. There's 2 or 3 times in the game where we should have taken shots quite early, But again, we paused, as a Sterling one at one point in the game where he got a superb ball. He just should have volleyed it first time, but he tried to control it. And by the time he controlled it, the defense was on him. But no, that's what we want to see. Great from Mahrez. So as I say, even though he got a bit of luck, thoroughly deserved it. And then on 40, just before half time, 41, 42 minutes, we had the penalty. And I mean, yeah, it was. I've seen Liverpool fans on Twitter saying it was a dive, but if you actually do look, his foot gets stood on originally. He gets his foot stood on, and then obviously it is a bit soft after that. But he's had his foot stood on initially, and VAR didn't overrule it. So yeah, there was enough there to give the penalty. So tough. Me and penalty watch. I knew where that was going. I knew it was going to his left. I knew it was going to Schmeichel's left. He placed it really well, though, but I've saved it. I don't know. Schmeichel was a bit slow getting down, I thought. He's a big lad, isn't he? But he just looked as though he was more fancying the dive high because he thought the shot might go high, but it went quite low and he got a glove to it, but he could only palm it into the net. So I may have been able to save that, to be honest with you, in my heyday when I was young, but. No, Schmeichel was just hesitated a bit. I think he was angry with himself as well. I think he could have perhaps, but it was a reasonable penalty by Gundogan. But it was hit fairly well. I wouldn't say he hit it with tons of power, but hey, he did it, didn't he? And that was 2-1. And on the verge of half time, there wasn't much chance for Leicester to get back into. They had a bit of a Thorian whinge when the whistle went, but I think we'd played about 2.5 minutes of injury and 3 minutes by then. It was only 2 hours, so. Anyway, 2-1. I think we deserved it first half. I think we actually deserved that. Obviously, the shot ratio was a bit closer because the second half, obviously, I didn't panic at all at the back. I didn't see any problem. I always like the second half because I can see how our defence is doing. It seems a bit strange, but I can obviously in the south stand, I can get a better view if they're going to score a goal, etc. So I enjoyed the second half watching it from a defensive point of view. And Leicester weren't really anything. I think the heads went down, and anything that was Brendan Rodgers said at half time didn't inspire them, obviously. On 59 minutes, there was a funny one, wasn't there? There was KDB was pulling the strings, wasn't he? A superb game from KDB. And after about 59, 60 minutes, he went through and he beat players. And it ended up the goal, he saved it, but we had a foul given against us by the referee Dean, and I still don't understand where the foul was that was given against us, and there wasn't an offside. It didn't matter because at the end of the day we fluffed the chance and we blew it. When it's obviously we should have done a little bit better. KDB's ball wasn't quite right or quite as quick as it should have been into. I think Jesus was it. So anyway, but it's just strange. It was I don't know what the ref was saying. The ref didn't have a bad game particularly, but I had no idea what he was doing. We also had the goal, didn't we, by Jesus? But again, who set that up? KDB, absolutely superb. I was a bit worried when Jesus scored at the back post that he may have wandered offside, but fortunately, you can't see from our end, obviously. But I checked the lines when he hadn't put his flag up, but that doesn't mean anything these days, does it? So fortunately, we got on with it, and I think even the ref looked at the screen when they replayed the goal, and I'm not even sure he listened. He waited for Stockley Park. I think he just told the guys to kick off Leicester. I think he watched the big screen like we all did, and thought, "No, he's onside. We're all right." So I don't even think, which is an idea, isn't it? Play it back to the ref on the big. He's got monitors, but just play it on the big screen. He can make a decision and go with that. So why have VAR? Just have your big monitors playing it back for the ref to have a look at while he's there. Ideal, sorted. Don't need VAR, do we? That solves the problem. Wasn't much else. We did have one or two chances, didn't we? Harvey Barnes. This is what I'm saying about Vardy's striking partner. He late on. I think it was 2-1 or 3-1. I've not been able to. Obviously, there's no highlights on the City app yet, so I've not been able to watch it back properly. But there was a great cross put across, and you could see Ederson. Ederson was actually looking at the player rather than the ball, I thought. So, oh God, it's going to be a pen. But fortunately, Harvey Barnes actually, to me, bottled out a little bit. He saw Ederson coming towards him with this usual sideways on sort of thing. And he'd actually kicked the ball wide before Ederson had even got to him. So he actually bottled it. I think Harvey Barnes actually, to be honest with you, bottled out of it. I think he did. If he'd been a bit more positive, I think he could have scored or even got a penalty because obviously he touched the ball before Ederson took him out. Ederson come to smother the ball and ended up knocking Harvey, but obviously he was feigning injury after it, but he obviously took him out. But split second later or early, it could have easily been a penalty. As I say, I don't think Edison was, again, brilliant on that one. I think he was, but it was a superb ball. I mean, the goalkeepers can't really do much in that sort of situation with the ball behind, splits the defence and curls round the back of the defence like that. It was a superb ball, but Harvey Barnes, is it Harvey Barnes? I might be getting that wrong anyway. The Barnes lad made a bit of a mess of it, in my opinion. He bit of a, in the old words, we call him a little bit of a shit house. You know, he just bottled it to me. He just panicked when he saw Edison. Then again, who wouldn't panic if they saw Big Edison with his tattoos running towards him? But that's the only real chance I remember, to be honest. Because Michael made a couple of 2 or 3 good saves. We had some subs which didn't really make a lot of difference. He had Rodri for Gundogan on 79 minutes. He had Foden for Sterling on 89 minutes. And of course, we had Aguero, which was great to see him back. Well, he had a late chance as well, didn't he? But he fluffed it a little bit. For KDB, I thought we were all panicked a bit, didn't we, when he went down? But I think when he got off the pitch, he did a little jog. So he was. I think he was trying to tell the fans, "Yeah, I'm okay." It was just a cramp or something like that. And I think he's confirmed it was cramp afterwards. So a thoroughly deserved victory, I thought. City back to a bit of their old best, which we're, the next few weeks we're going to have to be like that, aren't we? And we'll talk about the Wolves game in a minute. But City was superb. Stuart Brennan watch. Let's have a quick look at what Mr. Brennan gave. As you know, I get my base score is 6 just for turning up, pulling the shirt on and walking out on the pitch. But because it was such a good team performance today, I've obviously started at a 6.5. So some people haven't moved up from that, but I'm not going to give anyone less than a 6.5 for yesterday, even though 1 or 2 players didn't quite perform as well as I'd hoped. So Stuart Brennan, Edison, no realistic chance with Vardy's goal, but he did well to put off Barnes as he was poised to equalise in the second half. Yeah, he's give Edison a 7. I've only give Edison a 6.5. As I say, I'm a bit hesitant, and it was okay. But as I say, I'm going to give him the basic 6.5. But Stuart gave him a 7. Kyle Walker powering forward in support of Mahrez and using his strength to deny Barnes more than a few inches. So he's give Walker 7. Yeah, man, I give Walker a 7 as well. I've seen some criticism on the internet, on social media about Walker yesterday, but I thought he played pretty well yesterday. I don't think there's any complaints with that. Fernandinho. Stuart Brennan had no chance of matching Vardy in a race, but he defended well at other times, was the usual springboard for attack. So Stuart's give Fernandinho a 7. I give Fernandinho a 6.5. Again, I thought he played well, but I wouldn't say anything outstanding. I might push to a 7, but I'll just give him a 6.5 because I don't think they were really tested the second half, and I think we struggled a little bit the first half against Vardy, which obviously, as I said, we're going to, but we did still struggle and we still looked a bit Werner and Otamendi. I've actually give both of them 6.5, but today is the centre-backs. Stuart Brennan and Otamendi destroyed once or twice by Vardy, but kept plugging away like Fernandinho. His lack of pace is not his fault. So he's only giving him 6, Stuart. As I said, I'll give him a 6.5. I think it's a little bit mean on Otamendi. As I say, even though they didn't have much to do second half, perhaps I'd been a bit mean. Perhaps I could have pushed everyone to 7 actually yesterday because it was a good team performance. But hey, I'll stick to 6.5. You know I'm pretty mean. Benjamin Mendy, Stuart Brennan gave City essential width, and once he started to find his men with passes and crosses, he added value to the attack. Yeah. Again, I thought Mendy played pretty well yesterday. But again, I've only given him a 6.5 because I don't think he did anything outstanding. But Stuart's given him a 7. So again, as I said, I might have been a bit mean with 6.5s. I should be giving these guys a 7 as well. Ilkay Gundogan struggles to defend against counters, but by keeping possession, he does his own form of defensive job and coolly scored the penalty. Yeah, he's given Gundogan a 7. I've given him a 6.5 again because I thought he gave the ball away a couple of times, and I don't think he was as good. But hey, I'm going to stick with the 6.5s. I'll probably get slated for it because I think perhaps he did deserve a 7 when I think about it now. But these are my initial things last night when I had to sit down and think. So I'll stick with what I've got. Stick with what you do first. That's what I've always been told. Kevin De Bruyne, another phenomenal display, driving the Blues forward, spraying passes, hitting the post and laying on the turf for Jesus. He's give Kevin De Bruyne a 9. I mean, yeah, I'm going 8.5, so I'm not much behind him, but no, with him 8.5, 9, fair enough. I'm not going to argue with KDB. A superb game, our man of the match by not a long way, but certainly a way. Bernardo asked to do more defensive job, and his inexhaustible engine was important in disrupting Leicester's flow after the break. He kills the games. He give him an 8, Bernardo, and I give him a 7. I was quite impressed with 7, which I think he was on his way. Everyone panned him for the Oxford game. I thought he played okay. And yesterday with that more central role, and he looked a bit more comfortable. He didn't do anything fantastic, but he just played that role really well in central there. I mean, that's obviously with David, without the wonderful David Silva there at the back. Obviously, this is what we're going to see in the future. And again, it's nice to see us perform well without David again, wasn't it? Because this is obviously a sign of how things are going to be. And I think Foden's going to be back in there, but he's not a David replacement, is he? I think Bernardo's are closer to a David replacement, but I don't think you can replace David. It's just a matter of playing to a different thing with different players, isn't it? I don't think, it's like Sergio. You can't replace Sergio. You're going to have to play it a different way. So he gives Stuart give Bernardo an 8. I give him a 7. Riyad Mahrez, sensational at times. His exquisite first touch, consistently giving me a yard on Chilwell. He deserved a look in his goal. And Stuart's giving me 9 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I give Mahrez 8. Again, in his style of play, I think the second half, he didn't. Again, he's up the other end. I didn't see him do too much. He still runs into dead ends occasionally, but that's his style of play, I suppose. And perhaps I'm being a bit unfair. When he has a good game like he does yesterday, perhaps forgive those things, don't you? Because he played so well, and say he was up for it. It was his old team, wasn't it? Perhaps he wasn't quite as up for it against Oxford, though, was he? That's the thing when he came on against Oxford, sort of thing. So that's the difference, isn't it, with Mahrez? If you can't be up for your old team against your old team whose fans were booing him to start off with, then when can you, sort of thing? So yeah, Stuart give him a 9, I give him an 8. Gabriel Jesus popped up for his first home goal since October. Until then, he worked hard but looked short of confidence. Yeah, Stuart's given a 7. I give Jesus a 7 as well, which compares with Bernardo and Walker, but perhaps Jesus wasn't quite as good. But again, perhaps I'm more inclined I should have given them Bernardo and Walker a slightly higher score rather than Jesus. But I give him a 7. I mean, he scored a goal, so that's going to be a point anyway. And I say he did work well. He should have done better with that ball in the first half. But hey, we're not quibbling. Raheem Sterling looked distracted for a long time until he burst into life to win the penalty and then caused the Foxes terrible problems. He's given him an 8. I mean, that's a bit over the top for him. I've only given Sterling the basic 6.5, which I might have pushed it to a 7 because he started really, really well, but he still wasn't the old Raheem Sterling, was it? But yeah, I mean, I give Sterling a 6.5, being mean. The subs, no, we're not going to score the subs. I mean, I think Rodri was on the longest. He was on for about 12 or 13 minutes, but no, I'm not going to do the subs. Pep Watch, I'll give Pep Watch a 9 out of 10 score for the game, tactics-wise. I watched the press conference. He seemed reasonably happy. He did state about, obviously, there's not much anyone can do against someone like Vardy when they're on form. But I have seen, I actually drove to the game yesterday. I had some presents to drop off. I'd usually get the tram, but I actually drove yesterday. So I did have the radio on and I listened to, I don't normally listen to it. I don't like the programme because it just it got me irate years ago when City weren't very good. And it just even gets me more irate now because they seem to always have a pop at us. I was listening to Talk Sport, obviously, or Talk Crap or whatever you want to call it. And they were saying that Pep had picked on the fans again. I did see him doing a gesture to the fans on Match of the Day, to get them out. I mean, obviously, they're not the most vociferous fans in the main stand anyway, are they? But and they were, apparently he's had a bit of a pop at the fans again. I don't think it was absolutely a stunning atmosphere yesterday. I don't think the atmosphere was that bad. I'm always a bit, because I'm in the South Stand, the singing section, where, I mean, I always lose my voice. I always shout and, but I know it wasn't absolute, Liverpool levels, United levels, up until obviously United went ahead of us, obviously. But obviously they were comparing it to Anfield, and doesn't Pep wish he had the Anfield atmosphere? Oh, you're deluded, mate. I mean, we all know, up for the big games. Of course, Anfield's pretty good, like any ground is, but I'm sorry, Leicester are okay, but there wasn't that edge to the Leicester. I think City fans are accepting, we're not going to win the league this year. So there wasn't an edge to the fans. Obviously, it's an half-5 kickoff, so a lot of the fans have been in the pubs, but there just wasn't that, up for it atmosphere that you would have got in a really big game. It just didn't feel like a big game. No disrespect to Leicester, but it just didn't. It just didn't feel like a big game yesterday. And I thought the fans were all right. So Pep's had a go. I mean, he's got previous, hasn't he, Pep, for having a go, and quite rightly sometimes. I mean, yeah, of course he's right. I mean, but, it is hard and we do shoot ourselves in the foot. And a couple of the songs got, I heard really loud around the ground, and a couple of Blue Moons and a couple of City were from, Main Road and all this sort of thing. And So yeah, it wasn't brilliant, but I thought it was okay. So if Pep's having a dig, well, that's probably, I'll knock a point off his 9. You can have an 8. You can have an 8 instead of a 9 out of 10. But no, I understand what he's saying. But we do shoot ourselves in the foot. We have 2 singing sections, basically, don't we? Either side of the away fans. So if all those guys were in one little section, we'd be a lot better, wouldn't we? And I don't think the sound's very good at the Etihad. You can't hear one section to another. It's not very. I was told it was quite good for sound, for sound to move around the stadium, but it just it doesn't. It doesn't help. So anyway, if he's not had a pop, and it's just the press having a go, then fair enough. But I'll have to have a look at that anyway. So what's said, because it may have been on the embargoed bit of the press conference, and I'll make a judgment on that. Other things, let's have a look at Twitterverse. Other things on Twitter. Get that up for you. Yeah, the Cancelo thing against Oxford, I think I commented about handbags the other day, and obviously we look back on the Cancelo, and it's just we don't want our City players to do that, do we? That was obviously, I saw the video put out by Manchester is B, Manchester is B, which is part of the Manchester is Blue podcast, etc. And I saw Cancelo, what he did against Oxford. And I'm sorry, we don't want City players doing that. And he's not overly popular with City fans at the moment, Cancelo. A lot of people are wondering what we paid all the money for. So we don't need him doing that. Samley, Rodolfo Borrell to stay at City and take on more responsibility following Arteta's exit. Yeah, all the best to Arteta, but I'm not unhappy that he's gone, to be honest with you. I didn't want him as City manager eventually. I'm more worried about the effects on Pep, obviously, I think, as I said on the Oxford vlog. No new number 2 expected until the summer, when City are expected to make big changes on and off the pitch. And that's, again, I really want to see what's going on with Pep as well. We need to know what's going on. Is he extending? Is he just staying next year? And that's it. But I think it will affect us, obviously. Bolt from the Blue, BLU. David Silva set to join Inter Miami in a link-up with David Beckham, and I did make a disparaging comment. I'm not a big Beckham fan, I mean, he's always, some people rate. I don't like Beckham, and obviously he's United fan from a young lad, isn't he? And he always had a dig at City, which is fair enough. That's what you expect. So why should I like him? But I'm not really happy that David's going to sign for him. I don't like Beckham at all. I'm sorry. So that didn't impress me. They had obviously, Stuart Brennan commented on Ben Mendy doing his scarf round it. Someone compared him to the Queen, which is a much nicer thing, but Stuart Brennan compared him to the inner Hilda Ogden, which if you're a fan of the old Coronation Street, you'll know what that means. But I mean, I'd rather compare him to the Queen, to be honest with you. Kevin De Bruyne, obviously well-deserved win. Thanks for the amazing support. So obviously he appreciated the support, but I mean, is this the things he fly out there? Thanks for the amazing support. Even perhaps he didn't mean it, Kevin. Perhaps obviously you heard Pep having a go and you thought, no, I'll stick up for the fans. But hey, thanks, Kevin, anyway. And that was our 250th win now. If you followed my last vlog, we've shown obviously over how many wins, with in the last decade of the last, obviously the 19s now, and some people say 2020 is still part of the last decade, but I don't know where they get that from. But anyway, that's another argument. But yeah, that's now our 250th win over the decade. Jenna Panel at JazzyGen 1986. Obviously, Fox have been doing some things for the decade, and Sergio Fox in the USA. Sergio came out as the player of the decade, which we're not going to argue with that, are we? And finally, again, I've mentioned this before, and this was on Peter Thornton at Inside Right, WRITE 1957, our very homegrown superstar. Just one of 169 brilliant illustrations by at 111 Lesley, 111. That's Lesley Ross in our Fourmidables book celebrating last season. 169 for each sale goes to tackle for Manchester, now available from Silver SILVA blue.co.uk. The perfect Man City fan, excellent present. So yeah, it's a bit late now, but I don't think you'll get it for Christmas. But my thanks to Lesley Ross. I got a copy of this a couple of days ago from Lesley. Absolutely lovely, and she was meeting the chairman yesterday as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing some pictures from Lesley Ross. I've had a quick flick through. Lovely lady. This is Lesley Ross and Peter Thornton. Obviously, I've read the tweet from there. superb. I've had a quick flick through, and some of the images are fantastic. I'm going to have a proper look through, obviously, but obviously that's one of my favourites up to now. Picture of Pep, obviously, and there's an equally impressive picture of our Vinny, which I love. But I'm going to have a look through that. But thank you, Lesley. That's absolutely wonderful. And I hope your meeting with the chairman went well yesterday, and you bought yourself a nice frock for it as well. I did say she had to buy herself a nice frock to go and see the chairman. So well done, you. Right, just to finish off, Wolves, the 27th of December, is it? So 7:45 kickoff. Wolves are 8-1 to win. It's 9-2 the draw, and City 2-5 on to win the game. City now 7-1 to win the league. So, I think Liverpool are 2-13 on or something like that. Leicester you can still get 2,000 to 1 on Leicester to win the league, but obviously that's after yesterday. They may have been a little bit lower than that. Yeah, a bit lower than that yesterday, but I think 2,000 to 1 is probably fair. We do own one, don't we, after the defeat at the Etihad to Wolves. They're a funny team, Wolves, aren't they? I mean, I have been watching Wolves quite closely. And they did exactly the same yesterday. They can look pretty poor at times, and they can have bad halves of games. And they did the same in the game yesterday that they played. Was it in Norwich City? They looked terrible. They should have been beaten. In the first half, and then the second half, they look a totally different team. And it's not the first time Wolves do that a lot. And they do have players like Leicester, who can harm City. Traore, they do have that little bit of pace and bulk. That Traore is a bit of a bully, isn't he? He's actually gone from strength to strength since he played against City. I think he's actually improved game on game since they beat City at the Etihad. So they do have players who are going to have to be careful about Wolves. They're a good team. They are a good team, but they do. If we can take our chances when they're having the bad patches, which they do seem to have in most of the games this season. They did start off badly, because of the Europa League, but they've sort of turned it around a little bit recently, obviously. But if we need to take our chances, get 2 or 3 goals, because Wolves are capable of scoring 1 or 2. So we will have to be very, at our best. More of what we saw yesterday, obviously against Leicester City would be ideal, and that'll be a difficult game. I'm not sure if Bolly's playing, as long as he keeps his hands to himself. I'm still sulking over that. How many was that 2 years ago? I'm still sulking over that goal for the draw. But yeah, I mean, again, I think they may score. I'm going for a City 2-1 or 3. I did say 2-1 yesterday. We won 3-1, so a bit disappointed that I missed out on the correct score, but. I'll go for a 2-1 again for City, but I'll be happy with the 3-1 as well. But it'll be a tough game, be a good game as well. And I think team-wise, as long as everyone's fit, I mean, I wouldn't be averse to start with the same team. With a play. Let's see if Mahrez can do it at Wolves on a cold night. It's not. Although it's obviously all covered, it's still, from what I remember, Wolves, you can still get a little bit of a breeze in there, and it doesn't look very pleasant on a dark night. So that'll be a great game. I think it's on Amazon as well, isn't it? Again, so I've got my Fire Stick, etc. So I think last time Amazon did the games, I had 3 things going: Fire Stick and my smart TV and my phone as well. So obviously I could watch it on 3 things. So I had 3 games on at once. But obviously, as far as Wolves and City, that'll be the only game I'll be concentrating on. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, I think it'll be a tough one, but let's hope we win it. Let's keep up our good work. We're a point behind Leicester now. We're still 3rd, unfortunately, but I think we've shown Leicester what we're made of. I think we've shown the Premier League what we're made of. We've not give up yet, have we? And Liverpool can win the Mickey Mouse, World Club Champions. I mean, how can you be World Club Champions? All right, they may be going for the champions this time, may soon be champions, if you like, in 3 or 4 months' time, but you can't. How can you be World Club? You're not even your own club's country's champions. It's absolute joke, but it's needless. It's a pointless game. I mean, against teams that they're just. I can't imagine South American teams are very good, because any decent players come over to Europe. So I mean, what are they playing against? It's just absolutely pointless to me. And the qualification for it is ridiculous as well, looking at the Oceania groups and all this. Anyway, let's not talk about Liverpool. Let's talk about City. Yep, let's beat Wolves. Anyway, thanks for that. If you're going to watch this before Christmas, have a great one. If you're watching it before the New Year, please have a happy New Year, whatever you're going to do. Look look after yourself as well, and make sure you don't drink too much and all behave. And have a nice time with you. Have a nice time with your family. Follow me on Twitter at nostalgia_movie, on Facebook at Brennan with links to Movie Game Nostalgia.com, my website. All the links below. Any comments, please comment below, and I'll put some links to some other vlogs underneath as well. So, and to the website, so movieGameNostalgia.com. Thank you so much for watching. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of your day, and obviously this Christmas period, have a great one. Look after yourself, look after your friends, and of course, look after your family. I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.